So first up, let's talk about learning new words in context.
Okay.
So instead of just, grabbing a dictionary or looking up a word online and getting the definition,
Yeah.
you really want to see how these words are used naturally, like how they, live and breathe in actual sentences and paragraphs.
That's it. Yeah.
So how do you really make the most of that context?
Well, you have to really look at the context. I mean, and when I say look, I mean really.
Yeah.
Look, don't just skim over it. Ask yourself,
Right.
what other words are showing up around this new word I'm trying to learn?
Mm-hmm.
What is the overall message of this sentence or this paragraph? What's the tone? Like,
Yeah.
all of these things are giving you clues
Yeah.
about the new word and how it's used. And so you can think of it like a
Like a puzzle.
puzzle. Yeah, absolutely.
All those surrounding words are like the pieces
Yeah,
that help you figure out the missing one.
exactly.
I like that. Okay, so building on that idea of context, let's talk about flashcards.
Okay.
No, I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Flashcards, boring. Been there, done that. But hear me out.
Right?
These aren't your grandma's flashcards.
Okay.
Okay, so instead of just putting the word on one side and the definition on the other,
Yeah.
try writing the word on one side and then on the other side, put a whole sentence where that word is used naturally.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So when you're reviewing those flashcards,
You're not just, recalling a dry definition.
Mm.
You're actually seeing how that word fits into a real sentence.
I like that.
And that just helps it stick so much better.
So much better. Yeah, I mean, what's happening in your brain when you recall a word within a sentence is really powerful
Absolutely.
because you're creating these connections.
Yeah.
It's about building those mental links. And, the sentence is just the framework for it.
Exactly. Okay, so speaking of making things stick,
Yeah.
let's talk about active recall and something called spaced repetition.
Okay.
Have you heard of this?
Spaced repetition. Yeah, I've heard of it.
So basically,
Yeah.
instead of just passively rereading your notes or, looking at your flashcards over and over again,
Mm-hmm.
you're actually actively trying to remember the word without looking at the answer first.
Right.
And then you space out those review sessions over increasing intervals.
Oh, I see. So you're not just cramming it all at once.
Right, exactly.
You're spreading it out.
You're spreading it out.
Yeah. And there are even some cool apps out there that can help you automate this whole process.
Oh, really?
Like, seriously, they do all the scheduling for you.
Wow.
But tell me why is spaced repetition so effective?
Well, it really comes down to how our brains are wired for memory.
Okay.
Like we tend to forget things over time. That's just natural.
Right.
It's called the forgetting curve.
That's interesting.
But with spaced repetition, you're basically showing yourself that information again
Yeah.
right before you're about to forget it.
Right.
And that's like, boom, it just solidifies it
Yeah.
in your long-term memory.
Like a little reminder.
Exactly, a little nudge to your brain.
Okay, now here comes the really fun part.
Okay.
You've learned all these great new words,
Yeah.
but how do you actually make them yours?
How do you own them? Yeah.
Well, you got to use them.
Yeah.
You have to actively use them when you're speaking and when you're writing.
In real life.
In real life, exactly.
That's when it clicks.
Yes. And it might feel a little weird or awkward at first,
Right.
like you're trying to show off or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But trust me, that's how those words truly become part of your active vocabulary.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So challenge yourself.
Yeah.
Try to sneak in one or two new words into your conversations this week.
Yeah.
Just, see what happens.
Just try it out.
And what's interesting about that
Right.
is that you're moving those words from your passive vocabulary.
Yeah.
The words you maybe recognize when you see them.
Right.
To your active vocabulary.
Yeah.
The words that you can actually pull out and use yourself.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. All right, one more strategy to add to your arsenal.
Okay. I'm ready.
This is a good one.
Okay.
Word roots, prefixes, suffixes.
Ah, yes, the building blocks of language.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So knowing these little parts of words
Yeah.
can unlock the meanings of so many other words.
Yeah.
It's like having a secret decoder ring.
It is like a secret decoder ring.
So, for example, if you know that the prefix pre means before, you can figure out words like preview or precaution,
Right.
even if you've never seen them before.
Exactly. And that's so valuable because it really accelerates your learning. Instead of, memorizing tons and tons of individual words, you're seeing patterns, you're understanding whole families of words. It's like you're learning the rules of the game,
Yeah.
not just the individual moves.
I love that analogy. And last but not least,
Yeah.
we can't forget about this.
Okay.
Make it fun. Seriously, learning new words doesn't have to be a chore.
Right.
It can be enjoyable.
It should be.
So find ways to make it fun for you. Maybe you love watching movies.
Yeah.
Watch English movies and shows with subtitles on.
Oh, yeah.
Or listen to podcasts.
Podcasts are great.
They're amazing,
Yeah.
right? Or read books.
Yes.
Read books in English that you actually enjoy.
Right. Right.
The point is, when you're having fun,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like work.
It's just natural.
It just feels like you're enjoying yourself and learning at the same time.
I think that's so crucial. That element of enjoyment is what's going to keep you going.
Absolutely.
Because you're more likely to, encounter those new words in contexts that are meaningful to you.
Yeah.
And that makes all the difference.
It really does. So to recap,
Okay.
we've explored at least 5 awesome strategies for learning new English words.
I hope you did.
We talked about learning in context by analyzing those surrounding words.
Yeah.
Using flashcards, but making them more engaging with example sentences. Active recall and spaced repetition so you don't forget.
Yeah.
Actively using those new words.
Use them, don't lose them.
I like that use them, don't lose them, and understanding word roots, prefixes, suffixes, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So remember, find what works for you and stay consistent.
Consistency is key.
That's it. Consistency is key. All right. So we hope this deep dive has given you some practical tools and some motivation to keep building your vocabulary.
Keep going.
Right here on Fluent Talk.
Absolutely.
Now, what interesting words or learning techniques are you going to explore next?
That's a good question. What are you going to explore next?